All right, so we're doing this.
We're doing this podcast.
Looks that way. Have you ever felt like giving up on yourself and your future clients? If your answer is yes, we hope you enjoy this very special episode of Thrive Academy TV. In honor of Valentine's Day, Jesse and I are going to share about our first date and how it set the tone for our 18 years in a relationship so far. It's a crazy love story that will hopefully inspire you to never give up on love or the future clients who are waiting for you right now. This clip comes from the recording of the first episode of our soon-to-be-launched podcast, Thrive Behind the Scenes. Enjoy. All right, well, welcome, everyone. This is Sharla Jacobs. I'm here with my co-host and my partner in all ways, the Jesse Corin.
That's right.
You were given the name The Jesse Corin from some of our clients, right?
I was.
Yeah.
So, just a few weeks ago, I took you on a surprise date. Mm-hmm. And I told you in the car ride, you had no idea where we were going.
I was guessing the whole time.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you were wrong.
I was wrong.
But I told you that it wasn't going to be, like one of our epic dates, like, when I took you to Madonna or Lady Gaga or Shakira or Hamilton or like any of our where we're like,
where are we going?
Right. Yeah. And so I was trying to lower your expectations. And then we got there and you're like, oh, comedy sports.
Comedy sports. We've done this before. Because we did that with your family in Chicago way before the kids were born, right?
Yeah, a long time ago. And we enjoyed it. So I was thinking, and we're, going to start this podcast together. So I was like, it'd be fun to, go check out some improv comedy. So basically, if you haven't been to comedy sports, it's two teams that compete against each other to see who's the most spontaneous and funny. And the audience gets to vote red team or blue team for each round of the night. And so, so we're having a good time.
And then they asked for volunteers.
Right, they asked for a volunteer.
They wanted a couple to volunteer.
Right.
Well, we were front row seats. So it was like, well, duh, I also was thinking, most people are really not comfortable with this. You want to do this, honey? Let's volunteer, sure.
Right.
So we did. And
I remember you raised your hand and my heart was beating. And I was like, no.
What are they going to do?
But I was like, all right, let's do it. So so they immediately escorted me out of the...
You went with the red team.
Room, right.
Yeah. And then I went they called me up on stage and with the blue team, well, I didn't even know what was happening. They called me up on stage and they said, okay, tell us about your first date with Jesse. And I was like, whoa, okay. So what do we say is going to be their first date?
We might see very different stories.
Okay, so this is before we were actually together, but he invited me over for a toning circle. You probably have no idea what that is. Anybody know what that is? But this was, we had just met each other at a workshop and a big seminar with about 100 people. And, it kind of been social with each other. And this is the only thing I could think of. And I was like, I don't know if he's going to think of the same date that I'm thinking of, but this is the best is what I can think of right now. So I told them the story about how you invited me over to a toning workshop.
And it was a big deal because, so toning is something that I had learned in New York City from one of my teachers, and which is basically like making sounds like om, and then it can lead to other sounds and stuff like that. And she said, I remember when she said, maybe you'll lead toning workshops one day. And so, by announcing that toning workshop, I was sort of letting the world know that I had arrived, that I felt comfortable enough with myself that I was doing a toning workshop.
You were finally ready to lead a workshop.
I was finally ready to lead workshops.
Yeah.
And so it was a big deal.
You expected a whole bunch of people, so I got there and you had...
Yeah, I invited everyone from that workshop that we had met.
You thought you were going to have 20 people there or something, right?
I was hoping.
Right.
I was hoping a lot of people would show.
And people told you they were going to come.
Right. And so I had this whole dinner arranged.
Shepherd's pie.
Right.
That you bought from Trader Joe's.
Probably.
Is that shepherd's pie?
I made a whole shepherd's pie. It's going to feed the 25 people I've invited.
Where are they?
And I remember walking in and I was the only one there.
Right.
And you were kind of waiting for more people to show
Right. So I was like, hey, welcome, come on in. It's going to be a great workshop. And, you're just sitting there kind of waiting for the workshop to begin. And after about 20 minutes, it sort of got a little awkward.
Really? I don't remember it like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember you showing me your room and you had all of these like cards that you had collected and like vision board type things and pictures of you in different places. And you were kind of telling me about what your life had been like for the last couple of years. And then I remember you doing a tarot card reading for me, an Osho tarot card reading.
Oh, the 7 of mourning doves.
I think I know what that means.
It means we'll find out in the morning.
Jesse, this isn't a date.
And then we kind of started the toning circle, which I felt really awkward about.
Try this tonal exercise.
Okay.
Repeat after me.
Well, I mean, I remember giving you a bit of a tour of my one bedroom, of this place that I was renting. But I also remember thinking, okay, there's people coming anytime, and just getting more and more embarrassed that, I was expecting this whole workshop of people, and only one person had shown up.
Yep, I was the only person who showed up to your first workshop.
Yeah.
And you got a wife out of it.
I got a wife out of it.
And kids, and a company, and lots of clients, and all kinds of stuff.
The love part of it, was a big success. The best thing that could have ever happened to me. And but the workshop side of it, I felt like a failure. And it wasn't just that one time that I felt like a failure. It was time after time after time. Because I tried to lead, other toning workshops and other workshops. And, it was really, really hard for me to get anyone to show up.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what to do. And I knew that I wanted to lead workshops. It was like there was nothing I wanted more than to lead workshops. But I just didn't know how to get people there. And once they were there, sometimes I would get a few people there, but then I didn't know how to get them to become clients.
Right.
And so I felt a bit betrayed by God. I felt, frustrated. I felt angry. I felt defeated, and eventually just, got a full-time job.
Yeah.
And that was, both a relief, but also very devastating to have to, sort of give up on my dream. And during that time, I wished that I had a crystal ball that could show me my future life, because then I would have been like, wow, it's not that bad.
It's not that big of a deal. Well, this woman's going to actually fill a bunch of my events.
Yeah, exactly.
I had the best workshop participant ever.
Yeah, exactly. So you never know, like, who, even if you
never know what's going to come out of it.
Right. So if you're leading workshops and if only one person shows up, like, you never know who that person is and what doors they're going to open in your life. So that's number one. But number two is like, if you never give up on that future vision of, I had a vision of leading workshops to, hundreds of people, thousands of people, and that vision never went away. And if I had just known during that time that there really were, like, it wasn't just a fantasy, like there really were people who were going to come to our workshops. At this point, we've had right around
9,000.
Yeah, about 9,000 people.
29 different countries.
From 29 different countries.
Yeah, come to our events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least 6 continents.
Right.
And so if I had known that, I think I would have felt much more at ease, much more relaxed about, okay, so I'm taking a little detour, but this is going to eventually lead me to this, the fulfillment, the fruition of this dream.
Yeah, I think with anything that we have a dream about, we have a vision about, that if we knew that if we just stayed on the train, we have that metaphor of just stay on the train here at Thrive, that if we just stayed on the train, that it would happen. And it may not happen at the speed we want it to happen at. It may not happen at the grandeur that we want it to happen at. But if you just stay on the train, and you keep learning and you keep growing and you bring the mentors in and bring the community in, that it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest insight that you had after telling that story?
That Sharla rocks, and I need someone to help me fill workshops. No, I think the biggest insight that, looking back, that I take from that is this idea of like never give up on your dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what your dream is, even if it seems like it's not going to happen, like just don't give up, because if you have that dream and it's not going away, it's there for a reason. One of our good friends, Jeffrey Van Dyke, talks about the calling, that if you have a calling, that means that someone's calling. It's not like this fantasy that's just going on in your head. It's like the calling comes from other people who are calling that into existence, calling you to be who you need to be.
That's why we say your people are waiting for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we're here to say that your people
are waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
Mm-hmm. If you like this video, please let us know in the comments below, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications about all of our videos. The Client Attraction Summit is coming soon. Claim your full scholarship now at clientattractionsummit.com.